You know what? I'm going to go Dark Urge. He's been a good swap in for us for DPS, so getting a couple more pieces of gear on him would be good. We just kind of have to prioritize. We only got 3 days. We got to prioritize a little bit. All right. Let's just give ourselves a bunch of click damage before we start trying to build out a formation. Oh my god. All right. Hey, Area 1, 100 levels worth of click damage already. All right. Oh, Delkun, J-Dog, Niskis, Baishikira, Sergeant, Agijess, Lilokin, Thalo, Strider. For 30 minutes of pre-stream. No. No, not 30 minutes of pre-stream. Jelly Bellies, no, they're the Starburst jelly beans. I actually really love the flavor of them. What I really like are like the they're called Fave Reds. Like Starburst Fave Reds. They're usually only available around like Easter. They didn't have that in the big thing. Usually I only get like smaller things of them. Those are really good. You know what? I'm gonna go. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna work on his murder stacks here. How far did Rosie and Dark Urge get to? Ooh, good question. Hold on. I think I posted a picture in there. Did I post a picture for that one? I did. We cleared 715, but then I think I died on 718. So cleared 717. So significant difference. It went up quite a bit. Well, no, I won't actually. No, it didn't. We couldn't clear 650 before, so we cleared 650, 700, and then couldn't even get to the next boss. It's just at that point, it's not even really about favor. It is a little bit, but it's mostly just about the fact that I'm in blue gear, right? I'm in blue gear. I don't have a Modron core. I don't have patron perks. You know, I got nothing. I got nothing really. All right, let's build out a formation. Where we gotta get to? 250. Wait, this one's 250? What's the other one then? Hold on. Did I pick the right one? I did. 250. 350 is the other one. Okay, so 350 we've been able to beat. 450 not. I don't know if only champions with DPS roll. I don't know if we can do that. We barely got by 350 in the other one. You know what? Yeah, we're gonna use Briv as long as he's got some stacks. We unlocked him in this event, so that's fine. 2 tank front line. The third would be Tyrell. I'm like, what? I know this. I know what I'm doing. I swear. I think we want it like this. Yeah, yeah. Like something like this. Some drowned rogues for the no, she's monk, that's right. Oh, and then Archon up front for the gold find. Alright. We got a bunch of gold find now. Just probably, yeah, pretty much always resist the urge. Alright. Melee. Everybody else? Yeah, pretty much. Fine. I'm gonna level them up. Alright. And away we cruise. Don't discriminate against other colors of Starburst. Look, I got the mixed one. It's fine. I'm eating multicolor. Hello, Chaos. Chaos, excuse me. Hello, allegedly. You got the first Dark Urge tier 4 done. Nice. Hey, Shevik. How much extra staff needed for Rosie third variant tier 3? Well, the third variant, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I got into the 700s with E20 favor, which is a good chunk of favor. I mean, I don't know that favor was going to get me a... Favor might have gotten me to 800, like if I could soft cap. Maybe. But, like, yeah, you're just going to have to try it. Like, I have no way to know because I'm not even able to get there with... Like, I've got now... Well, with E20 favor, I couldn't even... like I said, I cleared 700 and... Who knows? Who knows? And that was my Rosie's... Now Rosie's got a purple. This was a green, but she does have a purple here. Rest were blues, and Dark Urge had a purple and blues with a shiny on one, so we just couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. So, I don't know. Yeah, favor doesn't mean anything if you can get to the soft cap. I was not at the soft cap. I was not at the soft cap. You know what we need to do? We need to check on chess codes. There wasn't a whole lot of streams over the weekend, so I don't know that there's going to be a whole lot of codes available either. Yeah, and then it goes into mine, so that was it. Wow. Alright, let's pop this Rosie chest. This should be the blue for her other item. It is. So there's the cartographer's gear. Holding on to this one. Holding on to that weekend chest because it just, I don't, like, I have like 2 people for it and it's like, But I should open, we got a gold that was looted off a boss. Nope, we're hunting epics at this point, folks. And these, we're hunting blues. Got one. The Krultimate. Nice. Nice. And that's just dupes. Okay. Okay, did we have any gems? We do have gems. Nice. Nice. Get 2. We're rich. We're buying 2 gold chests at once now. Nope. I want epics. No, none of the rest matters. Okay. And then that gave us some blacksmithing contracts, which go on Briv. Didn't land on the speed, but that's okay. And we're just gonna we're gonna pop all of these. Bounty contracts, sure, I'll use them. Alright. And that's enough for one more. Keep going back and forth to the shop, but this is the way it is. One more of these. For now. We're hunting that epic Theodinarax. We want that. We want Theo. Come on, Theo. Nope. Nope. We got the blue and it's shiny. It's, we got a shiny spiral, but I want a shiny Theodinarax. Hey, Texa. Dungeons had artifacts as treasure. I've been pushing an artifact system a long time. For a long time. Years. I mean, I've actually had an actual sit-down discussion with them about artifacts. But, I don't, who knows? But I was like, for me, I was like, slot 13. Everybody wants slot 13. What if it isn't a champion? What if it's an artifact? Like, what if you could slot an artifact in a run and you had to loot artifacts from like dungeons and stuff, and it was random, and there was a whole pool with lots of different tiers and different effects, and but you could only pick one, and you swapped them out, and like, you know, you could get rid of the stuff you don't want for, you know, something else, and you'd be hunting those legendary artifacts to help really push your team. Artifact like an animated sword. I mean, it could be all kinds of things. Hold on. We can talk about that today. Hold on. Let me go over here to D&D Beyond. I want to look at... Where's that? No, none of these are... Where's... God dang it. There it is. Okay. Okay, let me filter by... That's not... It's not doing what I want. Okay. Over here, maybe? Is this what I want? Yes. This is what I want. Okay. Now, so I mean, you could have multiple. I'm just saying, like, at the time, I was like, slot 13, slot an artifact. You know, you could do, like, if they're going to be redoing this, you could have, like, maybe each champion slots an artifact, right? Like, you have to attune to it or something. I mean, that would be a thing, right? But if we look up artifact level stuff, there aren't a whole lot. So, you know, the idea of maybe having it be like a magic item system and then artifacts at the top level. But you get like, there's an Axe of the Dwarvish Lords, which is like, it's got random stuff. And this is kind of one of the things, like you could roll for randomness too. Magical weapons again grants +3 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with it. The axe also functions as a belt of dwarven kind, a dwarven thrower, and a sword of sharpness. So, like, this is a high-level artifact, right? The axe has the following randomly determined properties: 2 minor beneficial properties, 1 major beneficial property, and 2 minor detrimental properties. I mean, these random stuff it could have, right? If you're a dwarf attuned to the axe, so this would be more like if each champion got to pick one. Then you get to immunity to poison, your ranger to dark vision increases by 60 feet, and provision with tools. You can conjure an earth elemental, travel the depths. It does have a curse, right? Like, so, I mean, things like this would be super cool. Like, pluses and minuses, right? Blade of Avernus. Functions as a Vorpal sword. It has, again, random properties. As an action, you can put Ruler of Avernus. As an action, you can point the sword at one devil you can see within 60 feet of you. That devil must succeed on a DC 22 charisma saving throw or be charmed by you for 1 hour. I mean, you know, these are powerful, powerful things. So that would most likely be like the highest level you'd be looking for. Iron Hand of Vecna, right? Like, so like some kind of a, you know, you could call it whatever you want, a magical item system that you attune, and everybody gets to attune to one, right? And then you go hunting, and then artifact level stuff is like the highest level stuff you're really, really trying to find. Could be neat. I don't get this. Sometimes the area base monster base health is way below my bud. I'm not killing it. I mean, are you using a? I don't know. Are you using fire breath potions? Is it that are your champions actually attacking? Because maybe your bud spiked and now it's fallen off. There's other reasons. I don't know. It's not enough information for me to know. Has there been talk of a slot 13 in some manner? I mean, it's been thrown around. The community's throwing it around. Justin offhandedly commented on it once. But I think more is like most people refer to it as like, we want slot 13 as another champion slot. But I don't know. I like the idea of, I mean, as an extra thing, like as end game content, having lots of like lower rarity magical items that you're looting from like dungeons or whatnot, with fixed stats, sure. But then when you get up into like the artifact level stuff, random rolls. So you may get the artifact you want. It may have not great, like you'd still want to go hunting for more because you're still hunting for like that perfect roll. But it would be way better than what you had before. A little bit of raid and idle champions. We can have a little bit of RNG itemization as a treat. Oh, I wish I would never want Wish in the game. Some kid champion might get Wish as an ultimate, and then they use it for something silly because he totally can. But an actual Wish mechanic, like the only way I'd want to see, well, the word used would be in a wish list. Like I would love to be able to like prioritize like a wish list for feats from gold chests, and you click the ones that you'd really like to up the chances of getting and things like that. But wouldn't guarantee you'd get it, but it would increase the percent drop or something. Like that would be cool. We see that in raid. For those of you who are over there, you know. But I mean, with the number, I mean, on this account, I don't have lots of champions unlocked, but with the number of champions that are now in each slot, like at some point, they'll probably add another slot, and then they'll shuffle the deck, right? Like redistribute champions. Because, just adding and trying to fill up that slot wouldn't really work. Maybe tie artifacts to a campaign. Well, I'd like to have, like in my, I mean, they're going to do whatever they're going to do, but I think what I talked about to them once is having like a dungeon system, but having the dungeons be related to the campaigns. Like usually the dungeons usually there's some kind of dungeon feature in just about every campaign, right? And if you have an actual dungeon like crawl system, you could have the artifacts flavored to each of those specific places, and they go, so like, a tomb of annihilation would have some nice stuff, but it's an early kind of in this game, so it's an easier dungeon, and then they get harder and harder as you go along. But I don't think they would ever be able to sustain that kind of content creation. So you'd probably just get, maybe dungeons, and they might be flavored, but I don't know if they'd be tied to campaigns if they ever did it. Who knows? Again, this is just a random. Like we have Trials of Mount Tiamat, and it unlocks based off a campaign, but it's not tied to it beyond that, right? Onyx, thank you for 16 months. Much appreciated. Yeah, some kind of a dungeon crawl. I mean, I know we've got Trials. It's kind of like a dungeon crawl. I mean, you're working your way towards higher and higher difficulty, but it's the same thing, and it's the same loot, and it's just the same again and again and again. And something that's, something with actual like paths. Like you're choosing a different path. Like you have many paths before you. You could complete it in lots of different ways, but and the path you choose can determine different stuff. Like maybe you chose the wrong path and you've got to back up and then go down another path because you got to something you just couldn't beat. And yeah, for those of you who played Raid, I think the way they did Centranos is pretty neat. Like of having paths to go down, and I think it's maybe a bit more obvious where you're going, and I would like a dungeon system in Dungeons and Dragons to be not quite so obvious. Like you uncover it as like Fog of War, and you uncover it as you go along. But again, this is just my personal wish list. Not quite the same. Not quite the same. Nile Chips into a roguelike. Yeah, it doesn't quite have the foundation for that, I don't think. Don't think. How many times are we going to be able to jump? Oh, we've got a few. Sounds like a campaign that doesn't stay completed with branching paths. Well, I mean, I think the kind of like the ultimate choice currently would be Dungeon of the Mad Mage, right? Undermountain. Undermountain has many levels, and the further down you go, the harder it gets, but the better the rewards, right? And you never know what you're going to find. So, yeah. I mean, to a certain extent. It would be interesting. Even Tomb of Annihilation, there's different paths to get through the tomb, and yeah, things like that. So it's not just, well, I did tier 1 of Trials, and the next week I'm going to do the exact same thing, but at a higher difficulty level. Like, yeah, there's got to be some kind of it feels like there's got to be some kind of somewhat RNG to it. I don't think they would build a fully like a system that just fully, auto builds itself. That's maybe a bit more than they would want to do, but maybe lots of different options, lots of different maps, and the maps that you roll are different. And some may look the same, but end up having different paths, and who knows. It's not idle. Yeah, it wouldn't be idle. Well, yeah. I mean, honestly, it wouldn't be super idle. I mean, you could still have like, so if you found, like, let's say there's different nodes, right? And like you're finding different things. Like you're moving through a dungeon, and it's an old school dungeon map with, it's a hex grid of some kind, right? Either squares or hexes or whatever, and you're moving from place to place and uncovering things in the fog of war. Yeah, sure, you've got to do that, and then you've got to fight something. But the fight itself could be idle, right? You set up your formation and away you go. If it's like this, but then once it's done, you've got to complete it and then move on to the next thing. I I mean, I get that, but that's also why, if you were on Dev Insights last week, you heard me ask for the game to ping your computer when you finished something. So when this starts flashing green, I want my Windows taskbar to pop up and start flashing red the Idle Champions button. So I know I finished. It's almost like I'm like, that would feed really good into this other system, right? Maybe do that. Wonder if we're wonder if we're gonna get close to soft capping on this ride. Well, we're only going to 250, so probably not. Never mind. We have a lot of favor though. I don't know why I'm leveling up Dritz. He's just here for gold, fine. But I'm tired of looking at the green button. Tired of looking at the green button. Yeah. Oh, reset my weekend buffs. Alright. Let's finish this boss. Roll through, and then I will reset. I'll reset. But yeah, I mean, I'm just throwing out ideas. I don't know, obviously there's pros and cons, and you'd really have to sit down and put some effort into thinking about how it would fit into this game and remain, keep the game still a more idle game. You don't necessarily want everything to be active. Obviously, they're okay with some things being somewhat active, but like how do you do that? I don't know. Oh, look at that! Look at that crawl buff. Triple pilfer, triple pain. That screams deep push this week, folks. That screams deep push this week. Ooh. Yeah, we're going to have to deep push somewhere. We want it to be in Tomb, so now we really got to progress and get... Oh no, I don't even know if we're going to... Oh no. No, what do my potions look like? 5. You know what? Yeah. Because I don't necessarily want... Like, we already have E25 favor here. But I'm only at E20 in Kalimdor. I feel like I would rather do a deep push in Kalimdor. Because then the E25 from this is then going to dump into that, and... Whee! Whee! Hey, Lurking Rider. Oh... Lurking Rider was talking about how I want the game to, when you complete an area, like a run, when this flashes green, like now they've got this flashing green, I want my Windows taskbar to pop up and the icon and the game icon to flash red, or to at least be red, so that I know, like kind of when Discord pings, like suddenly in my taskbar is like, oh, you've got a Discord message. Well, my taskbar doesn't do that. When I start up a program and I haven't looked at it, my taskbar is like, you've got a new program open. I want that. I want that command from the game so that I know, hey, I finished my run, and now while it's buried somewhere behind some other thing, and then I can go dig it out and go, okay, I finished. Now I can move on to the next one. I would also love a work queue system. I talked about that before. I would love to queue up adventures. I want to do this adventure with this formation, and if it completes, auto-complete it and start this adventure with this formation. And if that completes, then I want to start this adventure with this formation. Like, I just want to set up a work queue and burn through, like, patron stuff, and yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. I would set that toggle to off immediately. Yeah, it would have to be a setting. It would have to be a setting for, like, the red thing. We still all have pagers, right? It could just send us a page. Yeah, sure. It could text us. It could text us. Hi, this is Sortle from Idle Champions. Your run is finished. Would you like to start a new one? Open up the game, or click on the game now. That'd be great. Because remember, Sortle is basically Forgotten Realms Clippy. Oh my god. It'd be hilarious. that would be like a telegraph. Larkin Rider. Your run has ended. Stop. Would you like to start a new adventure? Stop. Yeah. Nope. Nope. Not quite like that. It's like, reply to this message with stop to make it if you do not wish to receive these anymore. Sign up for Sortle's Idle Champions Joke of the Day text. Oh, that would be way too much. That'd be way too much. Be way too much. I mean, the amount of content you'd have to generate for that. I mean, well, look, 365 jokes a year. No. No, it's too much. But you could have Sortle's D&D like fact of the day or info of the day. And then you could pull it from all, like, you could pre-fill it with like characters, like all the canonical characters, monsters, magical items, locations, have little blurbs. You could totally do that. And have content every day for who knows how many years. That was weird. Like the game froze for a second. Hey, Ricardo. My bud were E100, 1E100, and I got a buff that increased damage of all champions by 2400%. Should I expect my bud to go to E103? So that's a 25x bud. It would go to 2.5 E101? No. Yes. It would go 2.5 E101. I believe. Isn't it? Somebody that does math. Check Thalos. Check my math on that. But if I'm basically just increasing, because again, you're gonna run it to like the multiplier. It becomes a 25x multiplier. So 25 times 1 E100 would be 25 E100, but that's, you can't have a 25. You got to be a 2.5, so you gain 1 order of magnitude. So 2.5 E101. That's the stuff that, yeah, confuses the hell out of me in this game too. So And I'm trying to get better at remembering you have to turn it into a multiplier first, or else it's not going to make any sense at all. It's not adding three. It's not adding the 3 decimals you think it would, like the 3 zeros that you think it would. In a weekly newsletter version with a code. That's already there. The newsletter already exists. Yeah, Sortle's trivia of the day. D&D trivia of the day. Yeah, that would be great. And Sortle's a bard, so it makes total sense that he would have all these fun facts about random shit from the Forgotten Realms. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Was the game? It was the Matrix. Did you experience deja vu at all? No. No, I didn't. How does it become a 25x multiplier? So here's the way the percentages work in this game. Well, here's the way percentages work in the world. And we just don't think about multiplying percentages by things nowadays. So 100% means double, right? I mean, like if I'm taking something and increasing it by 100%, I'm doubling it. Okay. So that means 100% is 2x. And if I'm taking something that went up by 200%, that's 3x. And so on and so forth. So 2400% is 25x. Right? It's take the 2400%, remember that you're going up basically like one more, like the original 100% gets added in to take you to 25x is one way to think about it, right? So yeah, so that's a 25x multiplier. Where things get weird, it's always based off 100%. Whereas where things get weird is when you start getting longer strings of percentages, right? But you always got to basically add 100% and then take 2 zeros off the end to make it a multiplier. Yeah, so whatever your DPS right now is 100%. And then anything else is above that. Yeah, I mean the easy way to do it is move the decimal 2 places to the left and add 1, like a literally 1 to it, and you've got the multiplier. But I was trying to explain it in the sense of this is how it actually, this is what's going on. But yeah, if you just want the cheap and dirty version, is move the decimal point 2 places to the left, add the number 1 to it. This really does make some of those 10% feats look bad. They are bad. Most of the feats are bad. I don't know why. Why are we just realizing this now, folks? Like, the good feats are the 400% feats or anything. I mean, the only reason that we like a 20 and a 40% or an 80% is when it's buffing a pre-stack multiplier, right? We like that. Those are strong. But the rest of them, hot garbage. Hot garbage. The rest of them don't mean anything. I mean, they mean things. You're tweaking. Again, it's all a string of multipliers. It all matters in the end. But because you have so many little multipliers, it all adds up. But that's why when Dark Urge dropped with this 400% DPS, like, what? Like, you usually get 30%, a 60%, and if you're lucky, the epic is 120%. They just straight up went, nah, we're giving you 400%. Like, okay, but the reason is it's tied to your progress. It's tied to completing tier 3. Yeah. But some of the feats they've added lately are just ridiculous if you stop and think about it, compared to like the regular. Anywhere from 10 to whatever, 10%, 25% all champs damage. I like those. They're good. They, 10%ers let you tweak your Briv gem farming, right? To get it just on across different people. Sure. But they're small. $1,100 is another piracy. Yeah, Stokey only 4 feeds. Azako only has like 4 or 5. Well, I don't know that necessarily new champs must be better than the old, but event champions have to be better than core or evergreen. For sure. They don't want you just like, well, here's your starting 12 champions, and they're so strong you never need to use anything else. They don't want that. And they already have Problem Child right here in that regard. Because you could just be a Ashara DPS. From, you could go from Jarlaxle to Ashara and then stay Ashara forever. That's already a problem for them. But yeah, Power Cream coming soon to Idle Champions. No, Power Creep is what the term usually referred to, but I think it's more like they just try to introduce new stuff, and it's like, well, the more wild you get with your designs, the more chance there is of it. And then the more champions you have, the higher the chance of it interacting in an incredibly outrageous way. Like Willy Wonka. I mean, they literally designed Nerds to be bad. Truly. They wanted it to be a bad subpar champion. And instead, Nerds is a key in Artemis and now Willy Wonka. And it's just like, what the hell? What the hell? You coat the weapons with power cream. No, it rubs it into the skin, or it. No. It rubs it into the skin, or it gets the nerf again. Wait, no. I understand making Nerds niche. I don't understand designing it to be bad. Well, it's because it was a marketing promotional champion that originally had to buy with cash. You had to go buy Nerds, multiple packs of Nerds, and submit receipts. And yes, I know there was a way people got around that. That's not what we're here to talk about. The idea was that wasn't supposed to happen. The idea was that you'd be paying real world cash, and not everybody would have access to it. So they wanted it to be just a fun thing to collect, just a bit of humorous champion to add to the game, but not really have it be good, which is why they don't qualify for any patrons. That was the key. They tried to make it the stats so bad they couldn't qualify for any patrons. And while it might be an interesting champion to toy around with, you weren't going to realistically use it anywhere. Because it was a completely extra champion. It wasn't part of the game. It was a thing that, Wizards of the Coast was doing a promo with Nerds. So they were like, okay, yeah, we can do that. Yeah. It wasn't like it wasn't like the rest of their champions where they need to be useful in a niche. Nerds wasn't supposed to really be useful anywhere. It was just supposed to be kind of fun. Funny to have, and it had a neat little mechanic, and that was supposed to be it. And and then not only was that not it, then they put it in the store for 100,000 gems, which makes you feel like it's going to be worth the 100,000 gems, and it isn't. And it isn't at all. That price needs to change. Oh, get the rat, get the rat. There it is. This needs stat feats for. I don't think they're gonna do it. I don't think they're gonna do it. Well, even Justin said, I asked them straight up, "Are you even allowed to do stuff with nerds now?" And they don't have. Justin and David had no idea. Oh, I don't even know. Oh, I think Nerds needs to be cheaper. I think Nerds is Nerds is literally like make it 1,000 gems or something. Like having a swap in slot 1 early on is strong for a new player. But that's about it. So, you know, putting it in that range, I think makes it interesting for the game. But Nerds, 69 gems. No, that's Garwar. Garwar comes into the game for 69 gems out of the gem shop. No, I've talked about that before. I'm not even kidding. I've said like if I had a say, if they were like, we want to bring Garwar to the game, how do you want to do it? I'd be like, they start off incredibly limited, and they're a Twitch drop, an actual Twitch drop for watching Twitch streams, because the streamer, right? And then after the exclusivity period of Twitch drops, like 3 months or whatever, then it goes into the gem shop for 69 gems. Like that's what I would want. Yeah. Absolutely. You should get nerds for joining the Discord like Hitches for the newsletter. I'm not sure if they have that. If the technology exists for that, but I don't hate it. I don't hate the idea. A written card from the gem shop, 69 gems per week. No. That's funny though. Would Garwar the champion have for abilities and feats? I think we've kind of talked about this before. I mean, Garwar, it would be a tank support, tank support speed, but the speed effect, I would only want the speed effect active during events. So it would do something for events, but I guess they kind of, I mean, Garwar would have been a great place to throw that event token scavenger, right? But something with events, something speed related for events, just so you can do event stuff easier. Because that's what my guides are, right? Like that's where my first guide for the game was for events, to help make events easier. So it would make sense that he would have a speed mechanic that's thematically related to events. Beyond that, support and tanking. In other games, like when I played him in Warhammer Online, he had an ability that reduced damage to anybody standing behind him. So it currently, I think Kreidel has that, but like damage reduction for champions behind him, or maybe just the champions adjacent, because he can be like the shield, like behind and adjacent, like he could shield directly to the side, that kind of thing. You know, I don't know. Maybe a buff base, maybe a multiplicatively stacking buff with item and feat support, pre-stack multipliers, based off the number of event champions you've unlocked, and like what tier you've gotten them to. So this is getting good, right? Then you get 4 stacks per champion. Up to 4 steps per champion. Every time they add new stuff, then you have a reason to push to. Yeah, there we go. Somehow I missed the start. I hate adulting. And Monto, we started early, so don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. So yeah, I mean, now I think they've fed into the Garwar as an event like as the champion that boosts things based off events even more with the new Event 2.0 system. So stuff like that. I mean, it sounds pretty good to me. Sounds pretty good to me. 69-day Twitch drop exclusivity period, and then 69 gems afterwards. There we go. That's fine. Actually, well, yeah, it would have to be that. I was like, no, I think this number would be better. But no, that would take too long. I was like, 420-day exclusivity period. No, that's over a year. 69-day Twitch drop exclusivity period, and then 69 gems in the gem shop forever after. Yeah, well, I don't think we can bring in Super Dwarf, unfortunately. And like the jumping would mean he would do Briv-like stuff. Although if he did Briv-like stuff, but only in events. I don't know. I still think no. I think he would. I think he's more. Well, I don't know. Maybe he'd need a cap. I would insist on a cap. I don't know. Gar in seat 4 to never be paired with Karlach. How dare you? No. Karlach and I frontline side by side. Side by side. Age question mark. Well, the age would be. I mean, the age is a question mark because it depends on like what level Garward do they want, because that's based off his age. I mean, the older a dwarf gets, the better they get. So. Class would be Paladin. Yeah, we'd probably have to, because you really only have like a single class. Well, no, some people have multi-class. Fighter Paladin or just pure Paladin. We could go pure Paladin. Kind of the way I see him progressing is like, he starts off, well, he started off Fighter and then picked up Paladin and didn't know, right? And then as he gets more and more Paladin, he like gets rid of the Fighter, like kind of, you know, like he's more of a book character than like an actual campaign character. Like Dritz. Dritz started off Fighter and then went Ranger and then went Monk. But yeah, Garwar is a hold on, I've got it over here. Is an Oath of the Grudge Keeper Paladin. It's a homebrew that I made. Where is it at? Where's that? I think I've got it in somewhere. Yes, Oath of the Grudge Keeper. Alright, hold on. As we're continuing to push, I can go through this. Hold on. Should we buy some more levels? The Oath of the Grudge Keeper calls to those who seek to right a wrong they have witnessed or been a part of. These oaths aren't necessarily sworn to someone or something, and more often than not they're something you swear to yourself, but they are always sworn publicly, and settling the grudge requires proof and witness. These oaths are not sworn over petty squabbles or disagreements. They are not necessarily about vengeance or justice, though righting the wrong may require something akin to these. These are about strongly held personal beliefs about what is right. The reasons one may swear such an oath vary, but they are always significant and put the oath maker in mortal peril. So, tenets of grudge keeping. First tenet, there's 5. First tenet, bear witness. Never turn away, never forget. Second tenet is be courageous. Never balk or hesitate in the face of danger. Stride forward fearlessly. Third tenet, have composure and humility. Your oath is all that matters. The words of others mean nothing, whether positive or negative. Cultivate favors. A grudge keeper believes that one person can change the world, but sometimes you need help. And then the 5th one is persevere. Never yield, never falter. Fulfill your oath. The path to becoming a grudge keeper starts with the first oath sworn to make something right. Swearing this oath to yourself, declaring the grudge publicly, and then successfully settling that grudge makes you a grudge keeper. Grudge keepers tend to rely on their martial or arcane abilities to settle their grudge, supplementing them with the abilities they earn as a grudge keeper. So, let's see what we got. We got Channel Divinity. You get 2 options. One is called Not on My Watch. So as an action, you rally your allies and instill them with healing energy. You choose up to 3 creatures you can see within 30 feet of you. Each target regains hit points equal to 1d8 plus your paladin level. And the second one is Bear Witness. You gain awareness of the vital force present within all beings. As an action, you sense the vitality of all creatures you can see within 30 feet of you and are able to tell whether they're alive, dead, or in the process of dying. So alive, 1 HP or more, dead, like dead, or in the process of dying, like in their saving throws. This includes undead and constructs, though you are not given knowledge of their classification, merely the state of their vitality. This is a concentration-based check that lasts up to 1 hour. And then let's see. Spells, standard spell list. We got 3rd level, Compelled Duel and Heroism. 5th, Calm Emotions and Aid. 9th, Haste and Spirit Guardians. 13th, Freedom of Movement, Aura of Purity. 17th, Greater Restoration, Circle of Power. 7th level ability, You've Got This. Starting at 7th level, friendly creatures other than you, within 10 feet of you, add your proficiency bonus to ability checks and saving throws alongside their own. 15th level, passive ability called Grumble and Mutter, which came from Warhammer Online. Starting at 15th level, as you complain to yourself about the situation you find yourself in, you shake off some of the wounds you've received. You regain hit points equal to 1d6 plus half your paladin level if you end your turn in combat with fewer than half of your hit points remaining and you aren't incapacitated. So basically, someone beat you down below half health, and then you're like, God dang it. And like, so every turn after that, you're healing as long as you're under half health and not unconscious. 18th level, How Dare You. Starting at 18th level, you can use your Channel Divinity to berate those who hurt someone under your protection. Immediately after an attacker within 30 feet of you deals damage to a creature other than you, you can use your reaction to force the attacker to make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the attacker takes psychic damage equal to the damage it just dealt to that creature. On a successful save, it takes half as much damage. This damage can neither be resisted nor avoided. And then level 20, if you go all the way to level 20 as a paladin, Grudge Incarnate. Using your action, you undergo a transformation. For 1 minute, you gain the following benefits. You and everything on you grows magically, transforming you into a huge version of yourself. Your reach is increased by 5 feet. So it's very much a pick on someone your own size. Oh, look, I'm now your size. At the start of each of your turns, you regain 10 hit points. Whenever you cast a paladin spell that has a casting time of 1 action, you can cast it as a bonus action instead. Enemy creatures within 10 feet of you have disadvantage on saving throws against your paladin spells and Channel Divinity options. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. Yeah, that's my homebrew. It's probably not balanced, but who cares? It's fun. That's the way I think about it. Yeah, so basically, if I were to do if Gar were to go into the game, he would need to have things that are along those lines somehow. What if Gar only skipped boss levels? I wouldn't want to do that. That's like totally antithetical. Like, I was the one that was like, Briv shouldn't skip any boss level ever. So I don't know that I could really say, oh, but I should. No. Every time Garwar and Karlach are in a formation, you have a fireplace following you. Oh. Gar's eligible wherever Karlach is, yeah. No, I mean, honestly, per our Baldur's Gate playthrough, she's like, nah, we're just friends. No, Gar was only available if nerds are in the party. No. Gar automatically negates any and all Artemis observations. Oh, that's rough. Garwar, no, the way it would work would be Garwar turns all positional formation abilities into standard formation abilities that buff everyone in the party. That would negate all Artemis stuff, but it would also just negate the headache of positional formation abilities. It'd be hilarious. So we're a paladin fighter. Favorite foe, plants. No. Nope. So ability, grudge keeping. Any enemy that knocks either Garwar or another champion in the formation unconscious will be marked as the target of a grudge. Meh. For the rest of the adventure, all enemies of that type are considered a favorite foe and take. Yeah, I mean, you could totally create a favorite foe mechanic like that. But I mean, that would only kick in if people died. I don't know. Again, it would be difficult. It's difficult to try to translate all of that into idle champions, but I think you just go with, you got to give a nod to event stuff, and then from there, the grudge keeping begins. Yeah. Garwar can go in any adventure unless Volo's there. Oh, man. Are we gonna kill this thing? Come on. Come on. This is the problem with Dark Urge as a DPS. It just, no real help removing armored segments. If you use Garwar on Wednesdays, all their formation abilities go to 0 because CNE always screws Garwar on Wednesdays. Yeah. Nobody would get that. Nobody would get that. I already had people complaining about, or not complaining, just like wondering what the hell some of the comments are in that Terminology 101. We did have someone complaining. But there were people who were like, what is Bay? Usually Karlach's Bay. And then someone else was like, a hack? Why are Volo and Van Richten a hack? I'm like, oh, if you only knew. All right. If you only knew. Garwar's ultimate would be his that level 20 paladin ability, if possible. Like he grows huge and then just starts beating the crap out of things. Yeah. If I could put a level 20 version of Garwar. If not, then we'd have to come up with something else. Oh, there's an ad break in it? Oh, well. I guess people are going to have to go back and watch the VOD. This run will end up on YouTube. I don't know that I'll do a clip of it. Removes Volo from any. Garwar automatically replaces Volo in any formation. Oh man, that would be cool. That would be cool. And provides a buff. No, that's that would be hilarious, but not probably impossible to implement. Yeah, I mean, you could so grudges could be a multiplicatively stacking thing or permanent stacking. Honestly, if we want to go into if we want to go like bleed a little more of the Warhammer into the D&D, a little of the peanut butter into the chocolate, if it were, as it were. Every time a Garwar or an adjacent or every time anyone in the formation takes damage, gain a grudge, and grudges are permanently stacking. Right? I mean, you could do it that way. That's more Warhammer, right? Grudges are forever. Or you could just do it as the in run stacks. You could do in run stacks. So only Only like they stack up during the run, kind of like Briv Steelbone stacks. But it's based off anyone taking damage. Could. And that could feat his speed ability. Gar could become a mini Briv, right? Yeah. The Gar automatically defeats any tree in the game. Yes. I say you played the theme song explaining why Volan Van Richter hacks. I mean, that's the explanation. Like, I mean, that's where the in joke is coming from. I didn't necessarily want to go into the whole. Well, Volo and Van Richten are unreliable narrators, and the information they provide in their guides are garbage, and thus they're hacks. Unlike me, like I didn't want to. I could leave off that last part, I guess, but. It would be interesting to see, like, if we look at like Bruenor as a character model. I mean, Garwar is going to be around the same height, but this is a mix of like leather and like mithril armor, and you can see Brunor's face a bit. The shield is a smaller, what I would consider a medium shield. Axe is pretty big, allows for both, single and double-handed if you put the shield somewhere. So Gar would be the same height, but Garwar wears like full mithril plate. Like, you don't see anything except his beard coming out of the bottom of the helm. And then depending on the outfit, there's either a mithril chain weave covering it, or it's just got these mithril beard clips, beard rings. What are they called? Clan Glitter Seal Dwarven Beard Rings. This is actually an item, and I had to come up with the item card because I gave one as a gift in a D&D thing. But yeah, and then the shield. So the helm does not have horns. That's not a thing. But the helm covers everything, and there's little slits. Like if he's in his high level stuff, there's slits, but they're glass filled. So nothing can get through. If it's in his lower level gear, you can see through them. But you would see there's no leather showing, there's no chain showing. It's just this master crafted mithril, glitter steel plate. The shield would be and this is problematic in this because he'd almost have to have it off to the side, because otherwise it would cover almost all of him. It's meant for tunnel fighting. It's a big round shield, and you can basically block, if you can drop down behind it and block anything, like all damage in front of you, coming from in front of you. Yeah. So close, but not quite. It would be a little challenge. Be a little challenge to bring Garwar into the game. Artistically speaking, I have to give up something somewhere, I'm sure. Like either the shield gets carried off to the side, or maybe he's got it. Well, no, he need it. He need it in his hand, but it couldn't be It couldn't be showing in front of him like this. I couldn't even switch hands like they did with Archon, because it would basically cover like the majority of his body, like 90% coverage while walking along. This is a big fucking shield. It's a big shield, and he Captain America's it on his back. He's got like a little hook. I can just put it on and walk around, and then it's just, and then he looks like a turtle because it's a big ass shield behind him. Yeah, it actually comes up a little bit over, so it's kind of almost like a halo because it sits up high, so he can still run. It's not banging his feet on it. Yeah, the theme song is an explanation. I was trying to keep the characters down. It's just a funny joke. It's probably one of those entries, like the Volo and Van Richten are entries that would get cut if we ever needed more character space. Like those kind of things are the first to get cut. It's not a giant mug of root beer on the shield, no. He does have a mug on his belt, though. He does have a mug on his belt. He's got two things on his, usually, you know, two things visible on the belt, and one's a tome, and one's a mug. Hey, Silver. We're working our way through how many die today. The answer is all of them. All of them. We only have about 24 areas left, though, which is nice. It's nice. I don't think I've got the info on the beard rings. I'm trying to think, do I have any info on them? No, I don't have any info on like the armor. I should do that. Oh, just I made for a because I was gonna make a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one shot, and so I made a monk subclass called Way of the Pizza Master, and just found it again. That's hilarious. All right, that's hilarious. I should, you know what I should do? I should get rid of the garbage champions that are in here and put actual pushing champions in, huh? We had gold find champions in, and I forgot. I forgot to pull them out. There we go. That's better. Get out of here. Where will we go after that? Don't know. Terminology 102, second semester. I mean, we could always do it that way, but could always split 102 into like 102 could be the in jokes and stuff. Yeah. Did Gore have the ring of the infinite ring root beer? I don't know what that means. Nowadays, Gore Wars mug is a, you know how they have those like Everfill mugs, like with beer or whatever? It would be root beer. It would be an enchanted mug that he just gets to drink root beer out of all the time. But actually, I should make it. I should make it just a. I should make it the drinking horn I have over here. Hold on, I haven't shown this off in a while. That. It should just be this, because I actually have this as a prop. Like it's an actual drinking horn. And that is metal. In case anybody wants to know, this is a metal drinking horn. Now the inside is rubber coated for washing and cleanliness, but it's even got a little place to hang if you want. All that's metal, and then it's got a little stand. So this sits like this, and it stands up. Where did I find? I didn't find it. It was it was part of the Total War Warhammer Dwarven King edition, I think is what it was called. Hold on. It was for the first one, for the first game. Let me see if they High King Collector's Edition. That's what it's called. Oh yeah, there's one on eBay. Don't know. I was gonna say there's one on eBay cheap. No, there's just the box on eBay cheap. If you want all the things, it's a lot. Is there something that shows all the stuff? I'm trying to see if I can find something that isn't just trying to sell it to you. You can't find something that just describes it. Oh, maybe not. Oh, yeah, there we go. There you go, folks. There's everything that came in the High King edition. So it's got a like a whetstone pendant, a grudge ring. I think the ring's in the box. It's got this huge book that looks like a tome of grudges. It's gorgeous, but it's a case. It's a container for a lot of the stuff. You got the drinking horn. There was a canvas map. Yeah, it's pretty neat. So yeah, I sprung for that because I was all like, when am I ever going to get a drinking horn that cool? Like, I'll pay for that just for that because you just can't find. You can find Viking stuff, right? But you can't find dwarven stuff. Yeah. Found a page with a ton of old codes to unlock the lock chest. Oh, one of the wikis or whatever. Went from a couple items to 13 fully equipped champions. Nice. Yeah. Yep. You got to get those. You got to get the codes, like the one on this stream up there. Binsgov's Oz. Like, there's like 30 of those a week. Alchemy jug, but for root beer. I mean, that's basically the way I treat the mug. Is it's basically a never-ending mug of root beer. You just got to say, fill or whatever into it. Whatever the magic word is. Nice, cold, refreshing root beer. Yeah, Silver. So there in the official Discord, there's a channel called Combination Channel, and all of this stuff goes in there. And there's lots of codes out a day. Like I said, there's one from this stream, but any content that's going on that's partnered content has one of these codes. So. Oh, we can get another. We get another gold chest. Now then, we're hunting epics, and I'll take these, of course. Of course. Basically, we're hunting epics so that, potentially the next time we do a deep run, we've got more power and get more favor. It's a little more important to me at the moment than trying to save 5,000 for that familiar. But if we can get a tomb run that puts us into like the E25 range, then I'll save up, because then I'll know that for quite a while we have what we need, and then I can work on the familiar. So item level count for Mert. That's a good question. Notice we put this in here. I found a bug with it, folks. It doesn't actually read it until you open the collections at least once. Nope, still doesn't read it. It's going to make me go all the way in. 1769. Nice. Now it'll put it out here. Oh, and then it doesn't put it out here? Oh my god, this is so broken. Unplayable. Literally unplayable. Yeah, so that's not quite working. 1769 though, so 231 item levels. We're getting close. There it is. Wow. But that's all we need for Mert. We have... I guess I could have just come here. We have the champions. We have the time gate pieces. We have the silver chests. We just need 231 more item levels. Demand a refund. This is my free to play account. I'd like a refund, please. Sure. There you go. I refunded you everything you paid. Thanks. Great customer service. 1010. Yeah, I was too happy for Dave. I gotta get sad for Dave. I don't know. I think I've had too much sugar to be sad for Dave. Yeah. It did populate in the tracker. Yeah, Jadong. It fixed it when I toggled it. But that defeats the whole purpose of the tracker. Wait for the sugar crash. Yeah. Well, I got a lot of root beer to go for that. Still waiting for that Dave the Diver Godzilla update. Do we have any? Have they put out any word on that? May. It's gonna be May. All right. We got like a little over a month to go. Month and a half somewhere. Oh, PlayStation gets it in April. What the hell? No fair. Oh, you guys. Now that gets me closer to Dave's sadness. Oh, why are they waiting until May for us? PlayStation gets it in April. What the hell? Why can't everybody just get things at the same time? Dave would have been the most boring one. Hey, you guys. That's not appropriate. No, Dave, you would need more energy. Hey, you guys. No, Dave, more energy. Hey, you guys. No, that's not energy, Dave. You're just putting the emphasis on a different word. Hey, you guys. Well, that's a little better, Dave. Maybe we go with somebody else. Maybe we go with somebody else. So, more than enough DPS. We're in the E91 range already. For this, health is E66. So there's the 351. But the problem with the 351, we're going to hop into it and we'll look at it. But the problem with the 351 is we can only use people with the DPS tag. And we definitely don't have the favor to click through that. We could click to 205. So, yeah. I don't know that we can do the second. I don't know if we'll be able to do the second variant for the Dark Urge. Hey, Dance Lover. I'm trying to think here. We'd have Ashara, Jarlaxle, Makos. Oh no. Ashara, Jarlaxle, Makos, Dadius. Delina, that does nothing. That helps nothing whatsoever. Rosie. Yeah, we're not even gonna waste our time on it. I can't do it. Okay, Dance Lover. Thanks for stopping by. Crowd control for the win. Oh, most of it's gone. Luckily, Ashara's actually doing some damage, so... Nice. An urgent errand for the Dark Urge. Take it. I'll take it. Complete. Okay. So, that wrapped up the Tier 2, the first variant for the Dark Urge. I really don't think we can do